Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Bayou Breakdown. We're joined as always by Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
And I'm good, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Obviously, wish you could be under better circumstances as the Titans fall 21-23 to the Tennessee Titans. Just walk me through what you saw and your thoughts.
I mean, all things considered, not a bad game necessarily
Mm-hmm.
by the Saints overall. There are important key players who really did some things that did not help us,
Right.
um, such as an offsides penalty or a holding penalty on the two for a 2 point conversion within the
Mm-hmm.
last like 10 seconds of our possession. That
Yep.
didn't help.
Yep. Tough
Um,
when you lose by two to
Tough when
have
you lose
that
by
happen.
two,
Yep.
and you have a kicker who missed two extra points.
Mm-hmm.
So that yeah, those are really the two individuals that I'm blaming here. Ultimately, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think there were some calls that coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda gone one way or the other there,
Mm-hmm.
but like a pick in the end zone. But
Right.
it is what it is. It is what it is. The final score is final. So it is what it is. We'll move on. Look forward to next week. And hope for better days ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. Obviously, the Titans are 8-2, probably the best team in the AFC. Although that
Yeah.
changes every week because the best team in the AFC loses every week. Like they just keep
Yeah.
passing it off to each other. Obviously, this week the Ravens, everyone was like they're the best team, lost to the Dolphins. So who even knows
Yeah.
what's happening in the AFC? But I mean the Titans are good. No Derrick Henry, obviously, but no
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara for the Saints, so that evens out a little bit. How did Trevor Siemian play in this game versus your
I mean,
expectations for him?
I'll be honest, he looked pretty good, all things
Mm-hmm.
considered. Completion percentage wasn't great, but overall, he threw for 298 and two touchdowns. Like I feel pretty confident in that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like I think he's still getting acclimated to the offense, right? Like he was here 2 seasons ago under Drew Brees, kind of as like the third guy. And then obviously didn't need him with Taysom. He was
Yep.
in Denver under Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had some good mentors, right? Like I feel like he's got the mental makings of a good quarterback. Now it's a matter of can he perform on the field. And I thought he did a pretty good job against a decent Titans defense as well.
Yeah, I mean, people forget. He's a seasoned vet. He
Yeah,
started multiple years for the Broncos. Like he beat out Paxton Lynch. I don't know if anyone remembers him, but he was a
the
former first
throwback.
round pick and just never worked out. Partially because Trevor Siemian beat him out and kept him from playing. But I think like you said, completion percentage 19-34, not what you want to see,
Not great.
but no interceptions, two touchdowns, almost 300 yards. Not terrible, and we'll see. Obviously, 5-4. It would help if they were 6-3, especially with Tampa also losing this week.
Right,
They would
right.
have been right there for even the division. But there is a bright spot. We talked about it before the show started. Mark Ingram Jr. officially the all-time leading rusher for the New Orleans Saints. Can you just talk a little bit about what he's meant to the team over the years now that he's
Yeah, and
back?
I was gonna say it's funny now. It's like it's over the like 2 weeks that he's been here,
Mm-hmm.
hypothetically. I mean, good to see somebody pass Deuce McAllister, who obviously was a
Mm-hmm.
huge part of the Saints offense up until
Yeah.
2009-ish. And then Ingram comes in, and he was essentially it was pretty seamless that handoff, no pun
Yeah.
intended, right? But like it was good to see him kind of come back. He's been welcomed with open arms. Everybody loves him in New Orleans. He loves New Orleans, so like the good vibes are moving here. So
Mm-hmm.
even that's the one of the bright spots about Alvin Kamara being out. That it was almost guaranteed that Ingram was going to get the what was it 20 rushing yards. I think he needed to be that
Right.
leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like he's probably going to get that, which he did. So
Mm-hmm.
that was great to see. Love Mark Ingram. I think he was around for a lot of the Drew Brees era, so it's nice to see him come back and kind of like give Saints fans like the warm fuzzies of that time period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I think he'll be an important part as the season goes down now, especially that Jameis is hurt and they're going to have to
Mm.
rely on their running game more. And, who knows with Alvin Kamara dealing with health stuff right now, he could take on a big role in the down the stretch. I mean, he looked decent in Houston and he's
Yeah,
not had tons of, you know, handoffs so far with New Orleans, but I think he's not quite done. He's close to done, of course, being an 11-year vet or whatever, but could certainly be fun. I guess any other big takeaways you have from this game? Obviously, Ryan Tannehill played quite well, probably. I guess continuing to be a sore spot for me as a Dolphins fan, seeing him continue to be just really great with the Titans. I love Ryan Tannehill. He's always been a great guy. He's never spoken ill of his time with the Dolphins, even though there's a lot he could speak ill about, particularly not getting an offensive line for him ever. But there's always a thought in the back of my mind, maybe he'd be as good with the Dolphins if the Dolphins had Derrick Henry. But hey, he's getting it done without Derrick Henry. So he's become quite a good player.
As old as AP is too, he's still, you watch him in those games too, and he still puts up a bruising. Honestly, it's wow, this dude is 36 years old and he's a running back and he's still playing. It doesn't look like Steven Jackson did for the Patriots a couple years back in the playoff run. Dude, he looked like he was decrepit. So
yes,
props to AP, right? Props to AP for coming in. Tannehill obviously still able to use that as a little bit of leverage, but definitely has had to rely more on his arm. And it's I like Tannehill too. I was never a Dolphins fan, unfortunately. But
fortunately, very fortunate. You were never a Dolphins fan, Jack.
Was definitely never a Dolphins fan. Was definitely never an Adam Gase fan. But you're right. It's nice to see somebody get out of a system and thrive, and maybe a sore spot for you. I'm sorry.
It's bittersweet because it's he's become the quarterback I always thought he could be, just not for the Dolphins.
Right, just for Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, it's wild.
Oh man! All right, so obviously we're at 5-4 for the Saints right now. What are you thinking? They have to adjust, get better, and do you think they have a chance coming down in this really brutal NFC? Just outrageously good NFC to make the playoffs here. What are your thoughts? I mean, they're only half a game behind the Buccaneers for first place because they have the head-to-head. When they'll play the Buccaneers again, right? So, I mean, the division isn't out of the realm of possibilities if they can keep winning. But, I mean, I guess just what are your thoughts?
I mean, a couple things. One being I liked the Taysom Hill incorporation again as to what we had always used him for initially. So I think if we can get that back in and that keeps being effective, that'll be nice. We got the Thunder Lightning, Alvin Kamara, hopefully if he can continue to be healthy, Mark Ingram. And to be honest, if Trevor Siemian can be that kind of game manager quarterback with a couple deep balls here and there, which he has done, I think it'll be important for us going down the stretch. I think there's hope. I do think there's hope. I don't think we make it far into the playoffs, and if we do, then I think that's on Trevor Siemian, frankly.
Right.
I think he's really the ultimate, him and Kamara probably side by side are the big pivot points here.
No, I agree, and I think we'll obviously see, but they've lost 2 straight. I know it's very easy to be everything's terrible, they suck, but I think, the high of beating the Buccaneers kind of messed them up a little bit. The high combined with losing the starting quarterback. So hopefully they'll get back to it soon. We got the next game on the schedule, checking right now, against the Eagles. That's very winnable. So hopefully that's a get-right game for the Saints. Anything else on your mind about the Saints before we get on out of here?
I agree. No, man, I think I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It's almost more exciting than having Jameis because it really is. You have no idea what's going to happen from game to game. So looking forward to it for sure.
Absolutely. And hey, they have an easier road to the playoffs than the Dolphins. You have to win every game from here on out. So,
okay, that's not as bad. That's
not a big deal or anything. They can do it, I'm sure. But yeah, Jack, thank you so much for your time. And can you plug your social media? Anything else you want to plug?
Always. No, we'll do social media for sure. And that's Twitter at Jack_Tiernan. I have basketball takes, New Orleans takes, you name it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do another basketball segment this week at some point when we find time, of course. But you can follow me on Twitter at FakeBMar, that's BMARR. The channel's on Twitter at WickedGoodSport or WG Everything, Instagram at WickedGoodEverything, Twitch at twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything, and on TikTok. We have the Wicked Good Everything TikTok. We have the Wicked Good Sports TikTok. It's all happening. Got tons of stuff. So much content for you all to enjoy between the various channels. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.